Gary,
William.
I heard you. I heard you watched the new Chucky.
I certainly did. Would you like to know what I thought about it?
No. That's what. Why not?
It's all with Marchese and Buller. It's all with Marchese and Buller.
Welcome to Horror with Marchese and Buller. We're going to talk about the Child's Play reboot. I actually liked it. I think Friday night, Gary told me he watched it. I had to check it out. He said it was terrible, right? So you didn't like it, but I thought it was good. I'll let you say your thoughts first.
Yeah. Where do I begin, really? I thought I'd give it a try. My expectations were kind of low. For me, the original Child's Play, which came out, was it 1989? It's a fairly old film. It was quite a serious horror film. The comedy elements came from the sort of the wit of the serial killer, Charles Lee Ray, who became Chucky. And it kind of evolved a little bit like Nightmare on Elm Street evolved from a very serious, straight horror film. Because Child's Play is a very serious, straight horror film, all the way through to silliness. And that's kind of what has happened with the Child's Play series. And this reboot, I was kind of interested to see how they handled it. I was interested to see how they dealt with the plot and how they differentiated it from the original. First of all, the story regarding how the doll's bad. I didn't mind that so much. I kind of get where they're coming from. A guy working in a factory who's clearly being bullied. He basically reaches his, the straw that breaks his back, reaches his wit's end, and he takes all safety protection features off the chip, which then goes into the doll, which becomes Chucky. And then he commits suicide, and, that's it. So the beginning of the film, I thought it was okay the way they tried to sort of differentiate it from the original Child's Play. But what it did do, in a way, is kind of dehumanize the doll a little bit. The whole point of it being frightening for me in the original film was that there was a serial killer inside this doll. Not just a doll that was sort of breaking its programming.
But I think it was, the whole funny thing about it was that it was AI, so it's more pertinent to today's stories and stuff happening. Like the AI got smarter and smarter until it was almost like the Chucky, the original one. But the only weakness I saw about it was the beginning part with a guy who committed suicide, because it wasn't explained enough. I feel, taking off the safeguards and everything. Like, why did he just do it to that one chip? If he did it to all of them, it would have been. And then he was so distraught. I mean, he ended up killing himself, but I thought he was going to kill himself first, and then it was just a very strange beginning.
Right? And it's weird. It's like over in the Philippines or something, or in Vietnam or something, where it's been made, and it sort of distances you from the film a little bit because it's so far away.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that this factory has a guy who can basically, who's obviously at the bottom of the chain when it comes to his position at that factory? He can literally just press buttons and turn features off like that. Very serious features, because like you said, it's very pertinent with the AI thing.
Yeah, and, why would that doll even have those options?
Exactly.
And it was just too simple for him, like you said, and that's something I didn't even realize, that he was at the bottom of the chain, and then he was able to get that access. Yeah, I mean, but other than that, after that, I thought the whole movie went in a whole new turn. I don't really like that actress that played the mother too much.
I was going to say, actually, funnily enough, the dynamic between her and her son, it took me about 10 minutes of the movie to realise that she was his mum.
Yeah.
I was kind of like thinking she was his sister
or something,
or an adopted aunt, or it was like you said, she suits more comedy roles, and I think she's probably brought in because she's from a comedy background. She's got like a dry wit about her, hasn't she?
Yeah.
I can kind of see why they brought her in, but that and the whole dynamic of all the kids being involved, and
the kids I like, though. You see, the kids I like because. And there's also a couple of scenes, and I don't know if this was done intentionally, but there was a couple of scenes where he was talking to Chucky, and then you saw the light in the back, right? Mm-hmm. And it almost reminded me of E.T. for some reason.
Yeah.
It had that feel to it, but except like on millennials, so it was millennial kids, but I like the whole thing. It's like Stranger Things, where you had the kids, they were just kids, right? They still had the issues that are happening today, but they weren't like amped to the extreme. There was no political things going on in this. There were things that happened that are happening now, but that's usually what fiction is like things that are happening in life. But there was no points trying to be made. The kids were kids. I liked the evolution of the doll as it was getting smarter, and I like at the end. So I guess, I mean, there is a kind of a spoiler here. Right now, for 10 seconds, don't listen. He freaking turns all of them into Chuckies at the end.
Yeah.
So so it wasn't. They're not saying that there's going to be another one, but you could make another one. Okay. Yeah. Spoiler ending, and I just liked it. I mean, I don't like when they reboot anything. I don't like when I didn't like when they rebooted Pet Sematary. I thought that was terrible. Yeah. I don't like all these reboots, but this one I think went on a whole different direction.
Did you not think the doll looked like? Because I thought the doll looked like.
And that's what I liked a little bit about it, because that's what made it look different for me.
The original one was really sinister. The original one was sort of set in very urban environments.
Yeah.
A beat-up cop, and he had his mum living in this apartment in the middle of, I think, was it New York? It was, Chicago, wasn't it?
Chicago, yeah.
So he had his mum in this beat-up apartment, and then you had this like place out in the projects or whatever, where you got like where Charles Lee Ray used to live, and it's a graffiti on the walls, and it was very gritty feeling. And well, this was like all nice and friendly, and
the place where she was living looked kind of
but it was all like really nicey. The bit that kind of made, I'll be honest, I watched up to this point, and then after this point I started getting my phone out. I was like, this is bull. Was when he killed the janitor guy, and he's holding onto the hot pipe, and the pipe gets hotter. And below him, there's a bandsaw, and the bandsaw is only about that big.
Yeah, but you got to remember though, those things are dangerous. Those things are dangerous.
Yeah, but you could step either side of it. The way he was, if he just dropped, it could drop onto the table.
Yeah.
2 feet are there, and the thing was in the middle. Why didn't he drop like that?
You have to also remember though, I was thinking about that too.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that a lot of these horror movies where they have these B-rated death scenes, they do have like, you're like, I could have done this and that. I was thinking about it. So you're on that chain, and the only thing he could have done was like swing back and forth.
Yeah.
So if he swung forward, he might have fell backwards and got his head cut. If he swung backwards, because he was also overweight, he wasn't like a athletic person. Yeah. If he swung backwards, he might have hit his face head on or his chest. So, I mean, I could see he could have swung to the side, I guess.
Yeah. You know what? When I was watching it, the way I perceived it was that he was probably about that far above it.
Yeah.
And if he'd have just let go and just separated his feet,
that's true, yeah.
He'd have landed on the table.
That's true. But it was also on an angle, though. It was like on an angle, too.
Right.
So
fair enough. But...
Yeah. I mean,
I was like, right, I'm not taking this seriously anymore. And the bit with the head was a bit silly as well. There
was an inconsistency with that. Because remember when the cop found the body? It was still all intact. You saw the teeth and the eyes and everything. It was like a skeleton. But when the kids had it, it was a full head.
Yeah.
So that was another thing that was kind of, maybe they didn't plan that. Maybe it was just an inconsistency. But I thought it was okay.
I come from it from the point of view of Child's Play was like one of those films that sort of haunted my childhood. It was one of those doll films that kind of creeped me out. That came around in the late 80s, where you had the video nasty thing going on, and there's like Evil Dead, and a Child's Play and Reanimator and Dolls. A film I've spoke about a few times, and things like Child's Play and Dolls influenced my story Porcelain Skin, which was unnerving. Just like these weird, creepy. I find something very creepy about dolls. So it sort of sits deep within my sort of soul, really, that film. And this one, maybe I'm judging it harshly. I just think it's... Put it this way, you mentioned before the Pet Sematary thing. I preferred Pet Sematary, the reboot, to the Child's Play reboot. Yeah.
Oh, okay, well, okay. All right, that's fair enough. I was going to say, not to the original Pet Sematary.
Oh, not compared to the original, no. But if you line the two up, I prefer the Pet Sematary reboot.
Oh, wow. I actually prefer the Child's Play. But I mean, but this is the bad thing that happens when you reboot something. It's like the Jacob's Ladder We saw that, but I don't even think that's worth a episode because it was just so. It wasn't terrible. It did its own thing. People are going to be comparing it to the original, so that's one thing you have to go up against. What did you guys think? Did you like the new Chucky? Did you like the new Child's Play? I like the original Chucky, but there were moments when he did have his Chucky going. So I'm not going to lie. But and it was actually in the credits there were 2 creepy Chucky songs. If you listen through that, he sung the song again as a creepier voice of Chucky. But we want to know what you think. Do you like it? Do you want them to stop doing reboots? Gary would like to know.
I really would. Have you seen the new Child's Play? What did you think of it? Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? How did you think it compared to the original?
Or do you think it was a good break off? You think because they made the Chucky so look different and but.
Yeah.
See you next time. See you next time. Whoa, my God. It's funny. I played that. I did that laugh for the other episode we did.
Oh yeah.
And someone said, "No, that's not you." They didn't believe me. They said you they thought I sampled it.
Yeah, it's a compliment, man.
Yeah, the biggest achievement. I could do it.
I could do a plausible Chucky impression.
It's all with Marchese and Paul. It's all with Marchese and Paul.
We got to do a live show. It's
Nice.
been so.
I don't know if we're going to be doing spoilers or not. What do you think?
Up to a certain point, I guess, midway, you
Yeah.
can't really.
Yeah. Well, it happens at the very beginning of the film.
And today we are going to talk about Nightmare on Elm Street. We want to know what you think. Do you like it? Do you want them to stop doing reboots? Do you want them to stop putting political crap in movies, which I didn't do in this one, but I just wanted to throw that in. Let us know. I'm going to play the Chucky laughed also. Okay.
Oh, cool.
It was sort of like, what's that movie that's out now? Stranger Things, right? I thought hold on, let me just fix my collar because the whole time was. I don't like all these Did you think it was funny when he said he wanted to name him Han Solo and what's his name was talking to him? The guy who does Han Solo?
Harrison Ford.
No, it was now we gotta look it up. Oh boy, let me see. Let me do a quick hold it, this ain't going on there. Okay, here we go. Voice of Chucky 2019.
Oh, not Han Solo. You're talking. What's it called?
Oh man,
what's going on?
it should be the first thing that comes up. What the hell? Oh, Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill.
Yes.
Yeah,
So Mark Hamill.
I should have been fucking Chucky.
Yes.
Andy. What the HDMI? Oh wow.
It's one of the battery chargers.
Oh.
Portable things. I got one when I went to Korea. Just because I knew